Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is going to be the second video in our Geopandas series. In today's video, we will be diving into the world of JupyterLab. JupyterLab is a powerful tool for data analysis, visualization, and much more. We'll start by learning about Jupyter Notebook, installing it, and then we are going to take a quick tour of its interface. What is JupyterLab? JupyterLab is a next-generation interface from Project Jupyter. It is designed as a flexible and extensible development environment, which is built on top of Jupyter Notebook. It offers enhanced features for writing, running, and sharing code. So you can think of it as an advanced version of Jupyter Notebook with added tools that make coding, data analysis, and documentation more efficient. Like Jupyter Notebook, JupyterLab runs in your web browser, providing an interactive environment where you can work with code, text, and visualization seamlessly. If you are wondering, you don't have to know anything about Jupyter Notebook to follow along with these tutorials. So with that said, let's get into installing JupyterLab. So to install JupyterLab, we first have to open to our directory. So in our previous tutorials, we created the Geopandas folder where we created our virtual environment. So we have to open our terminal in our working directory. To do that, we'll have to just right click. Among the options, you might see open in terminal. If you don't see it here, just click show more options and you might see open in terminal here. So we're going to click on open in terminal to open our terminal. So as you can see, we have opened our current working directory in our terminal. So the next thing we are going to be doing is activating our virtual environment. In our previous video, we learned about creating virtual environment and activating it. To activate your virtual environment, we are going to type the name of our virtual environment. So in our case, it's .vnv. The script folder, and then we're going to activate .ps1. If you're using Mac or Linux, you will have to prepend source to the path to your virtual environment. So when I click enter, as you can see, we've activated our virtual environment. After we've activated our virtual environment, the next thing to do is to install Jupyter Notebook. So to install JupyterLab, you just have to type pip install JupyterLab. And then you press enter to install JupyterLab. I already have it installed, so I'm not going to do that. So after your JupyterLab is done installing, so you type JupyterLab, and then when you press enter, it's going to open your JupyterLab interface in your default browser. So press enter. Exploring JupyterLab interface. JupyterLab is intuitively designed and can be divided into four main components. We have the menu bar, the left sidebar, the right sidebar, and the main work area. The menu bar is located at the top of the Jupyter interface. It provides access to various menus and a variety of actions along with their corresponding keyboard shortcuts. As you can see, for when you open the tab, for every action, you have your keyboard shortcuts. So we're going to break down each of the menus here. We'll start with the file menu. The file menu allows us to manage our files and folders. We're able to open a new launcher or a new workspace, and it allows us to save our work. The next menu is the edit menu, which allows us the ability to edit our document or our file. It gives us the undo and the redo button to undo and redo changes. We are able to access clipboard actions like cut, copy, paste, and many others. The view menu allows us to customize the appearance of our JupyterLab notebook. We're able to toggle between our sidebar visibilities and manage our panels. So the run menu bar allows us to execute code in our Jupyter notebooks, consoles, and other activities. The kernel menu allows us to manage kernels, which are processes which execute our code. So you can interrupt your kernel, you can restart your kernel, you can reconnect your kernel, shut down either one or all of your kernels, and you can even change your kernel. The next one is the tab menu bar, which allows us to view and manage all open documents. So you can activate a new tab, you can activate previous tab that you've opened, and then you have the list of your current open documents. So we have our Markdown notebook, we have our launcher, and then we have an untitled notebook. The next menu is the settings, which gives us access to common settings. It allows us to configure the interface, so we can toggle between the dark and light. You can change the theme of your Jupyter interface. Click to change it to dark, and then you can change it back to light, whichever one you prefer. And when you click here, you have access to advanced configurations and settings. The last but not the least is the help menu. The help menu allows us to find documentations, shortcuts, and links to JupyterLab and kernel related help resources. The next component we'll be looking at is the Left Sidebar component. The Left Sidebar is home to several essential tools and tabs that we'll be using frequently. So the first tab we'll be looking at is the file browser, which allows us to navigate our file system. So you are able to create a new launcher here. You're able to create a new folder in our directory, our Geopandas directory, and we're able to also upload a file from different places in our system into our current directory. The next tab is the running kernels and terminals tab, which gives us the ability to view the list of active notebooks. So when we open tabs, we see the 3 active notebooks here. We're able to also see your kernels here. We see the recently closed notebook. So the kernel tab allows us to manage and monitor our computational resources. The next one is a table of contents, which allows us to easily navigate through a structure of our documents. This is especially helpful for long notebooks with multiple sections. So we discussed that one of the key use cases of JupyterLab or Jupyter Notebook was for documentation. So I have an example here to demonstrate what I'm talking about. The moment I clicked on this, we have a sample documentation here, and then you're able to view through them here in our table of contents. So the last of the tabs we'll be looking at is the Extension Manager tab, which allows us to manage and use third-party extensions. We're done with the left sidebar. Moving to the right sidebar. The right sidebar provides tabs to context-specific information. So one of the tools in the right sidebar is the Property Inspector tool. The Property Inspector tool, you have to open a launcher here to be able to show the options in the Property Inspector tool. If I move to a new launcher, you see we have no option here. But if we move to a working notebook, or an active notebook, you see that the options are back. So it gives you it allows you to view and edit properties related to each cell of your notebook. We have the common tools, and then we have the advanced tools, which gives you granular control over the inner workings of your cell. The next tab is the debugger tab. The debugger tab, in order to use the debugger tab, you have to activate or enable your debugger. So you click here to enable your debugger, and then you can be able to use your debugger tab. This allows you to diagnose problems with your code. So maybe you're working with a code and you're not getting the response that you wanted, but you don't know exactly what's causing the issue. using the debugger tool will allow you to figure out where the problem is. It's a very, very, very powerful and useful tool to use. As you can see, both the left sidebar and the right sidebar are collapsible, which gives us flexibility in maximizing our workflow. The next component we'll be dealing with is the main work area component. So the main work area component is where the magic happens. This is a central space for writing, running, and visualizing our code. One of the standout features of JupyterLab is the ability to open multiple notebooks, terminals, consoles, and various other files simultaneously. These tabs are highly configurable, allowing you to arrange them in the order in which you want them, or in positions in which you want them. This is cool for increasing productivity in your work. So this will mark the end of our tutorial. I know that this might have felt like a lot of information to take in at once, but don't worry. JupyterLab is a tool we'll be using frequently from here on out. As we continue, you'll become more and more familiar with the features we've covered today, along with many others that we're not able to cover. So in the next few videos, we'll be diving into Pandas. Panda is a very powerful library for data manipulation and analysis. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on those upcoming tutorials. I hope you found these tutorials helpful and informative. If you have any questions about what we covered today or anything related to GIS, QGIS, or Python, please feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. Stay curious. Bye.